everyone, whoever's going to be watching tonight. It's me and Johnno doing a bit of a test stream.
And hello, yes, I am Johnno.
Yes. Mainly we find Johnno on Facebook. You're also on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.
YouTube. So,
what other places would you rather be?
Yes. So, goal of tonight is we're going to have a bit of a play around. We're having a bit of a steep learning curve, as it is. If you got any ideas what we can do in the show, I had some fantastic ideas come through. Thank you very much for those people who commented. We still haven't came up with a name for ourselves. We're just playing around at this stage, so we have a go. Yes. Well, we might as well get into the first question, what come up, and have a look.
Anyway, let's say hello to Stephen. He's there. Hello.
Howdy, Stephen. And yep.
So while Tez is getting ready, so what we're looking for is questions, questions about trucks, things that you want us to put on the show, basically anything. So basically, the floor's over to you, and we're just gonna chime in and see how it goes.
Yeah, you want to make a comment about your videos you put out this morning, I suppose, about which is the worst roads in Australia.
Oh yeah, there's so many roads. I don't know where you guys are, but I travel all over Australia. I don't do set runs, so that's exciting. But WA, I think, has the best highways. Then I guess maybe, I don't know, Victoria. New South Wales is just pothole city. They do have good roads, but it's pretty bad. And as I was saying in my video, what do you call it? Queensland has great roads, but they seem to just go up and down, so nothing's level. So I did ask everyone, what roads did you think was the worst? And got quite a few responses.
Yes. I haven't checked in lately, but I did see it this morning or this afternoon. So, jump to his channel, Road Train Adventures. You want to talk a little bit about yourself? How long you been driving trucks for, Johnno? So we know you're not 5 minutes here and you think you know it all because you're on YouTube.
So I'm trying to read the comments as well about Western Star and Kenworth. We'll get back to that. Let's see. Actually, there's the fighting words, isn't it? Hang on. Oh, no, I thought you were Kenworth. Yeah, you drive a Kenworth, don't you?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No, I drive Western Star.
Oh, that's right. Oh, anyway.
You know the difference between a Western Star driver and a Kenworth driver, don't you?
Oh, obviously, one knows what a Western Star looks like and one doesn't.
I was going to say Western Star driver only gets one arm sunburnt, where a Kenworth driver gets both arms sunburnt.
Actually, it's good though, because when I got my wife with me, it's like being in the car and you can just hold hands and I like that. Anyway, okay. So experience. What experience do I have? Oh man, I started in transport 30 years ago, so 1990 by mistake. I used to do rock and roll, concert lighting and sound and stuff like that. So got in transport by mistake. And it ended up loving it. I was a motorcycle courier around Perth before the days of the internet. Then I got a job in the office and then back on the road and another transport company. And then years later, when I was married, I only had a HR and I thought, let's upgrade to MC. I didn't know you could do that. I thought you'd have to go to HC first. We got MC. Got the job, got my license on the Tuesday, and on the Wednesday, I had a job pulling triple road trains up north. Well, I wasn't exactly truthful about my experience. I just said, I could talk the talk. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I would, yeah. Anyway, it came out that I got my license the previous day, and once they found that out, and I'd already done the toll inductions as well, they said, we can't send you up north with a triple. So that put that into it. Then I went to another company and said, okay, I don't have any experience. And the funny thing is, in the interview, they were saying, "Oh, you just got to check this and that," and he mentioned the ring feeder. Check your ring feeder. And I said, "What's a ring feeder?" "Oh my God, you're going to give me a road train, and I don't even know what a ring feeder is." Anyway, so they put me in the truck and dog, and for about a week and a half, I said, "Oh, this is just too easy. You got to give me a road train." So they did. This is road train tippers, and in WA, it's really just a long vehicle. So they put me in a road train and never looked back. I just learned to reverse. I always practiced reversing because I didn't know how to do it. So I just got better. One thing I find about getting or gaining experience is find people that you think or believe know about the industry, and then ask lots of questions. And so I did that. There were a few people in our company that seemed to know what they were talking about. So whenever I had a question, hey, how does this work? Never be afraid to ask questions, because if you don't, well, you could get into trouble anyway.
Yeah. So, I'm a big believer. There's no stupid questions if you truly don't know the answer. So that's what I used to teach when I was in fire and rescue. Always try to get people to ask questions, because I can't cover everything, or I don't know what you don't know. So
yeah,
same here. If you got a question, give us a
yeah, Patrick. If you got a question, just type it out. We'll jump in there.
Yeah.
Roadworks means job security. Oh, well,
there's plenty of job security going around at the moment, isn't there? Yeah.
Auto and manual. Oh man, I hate with a passion automatics. If I get in an automatic, I put it straight in the manual and drive it with the buttons up and down.
Oh, really?
Hate automatic. Hate them with a passion. So. No, I know you speak to older drivers who say, "Oh, I'm over driving a manual. No, give me an automatic any day." But I've never seen a good. Oh, and maybe Kenworth and Argosy, those change gears better. But you go in a Volvo or something like that, you're looking like a fool. You go bobtail, and it's literally going through every single split.
Yeah.
No, no, thanks.
Yeah, I always find it when you're starting to get heavy going or going uphill, they tend not to change gears properly. They always very late changing gears, I've noticed. And
they say you can train them, or they learn from your behaviour. So if you were to keep it in auto and then flick it down, it supposedly learns from how you want to drive. I don't think that's true, but and the other thing, if it's a Volvo like to rev lower, so of course it's going to hold 12th until it gets down to about probably 1100, I think it is, 11 or 1200, and then it'll change. But by then you've lost it all. But they do have better torque down low.
Yeah. No. Yes. Here we go.
So anyway, getting back, Western Star versus Kenworth, what are the preferences and differences? Well, differences. Well, Western Star is wider. Western Stars to me look a little, I don't know.
Basic.
I've never seen the new Western Star. I don't know what that model looks like, but I don't know. I've driven both, and I do prefer Kenworth. Like, I love the look of a 909, which is what I drive. But a big bonnet 46 or 4900 Western Star, that's okay too.
Yeah, well, I think Western Star was always put out to keep it basic, to keep the price down. What I believe, and that's why you got those big toggle switches. There's nothing flash. She's all pretty basic machine. Where Kenworth is starting to, have the better switches, I suppose. I haven't been in a new Kenworth yet, so I don't know. So
I'm just reading. Just keep going. I'm just reading the comments.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, okay. To keep the conversation. So Patrick says, I have my HR, but I can't upgrade for 6 months, and I ask if I can upgrade earlier, but told by my boss because of my age, not bad. Look, to me,
how old are you, Patrick? That's the next question. Because there isn't any age limit now. I don't think there is.
No, as soon as if you've had your car license for longer than 2 years and you've had your HR for 1 year, I'm pretty sure you can go straight to MC. Now, another driver, who was a friend of mine, I got him a job in this company I was working for. He got his HR, and then he got his MC, but they really wouldn't give him a go, even though he had his MC. So it took him a while. But then again, he was. They thought he was a bit silly anyway, so they really didn't want to give him a go. But he eventually got a go and left the company, and
yeah, no, with 25, because sometimes it can be insurance as well for the younger drivers. It can be.
But Patrick, all I can say is get your license as soon as possible, because worst case scenario, once you got your license, if they're not really going to give you a go, at least you can get into another company. And as much as you're not supposed to probably do this, if you go to another company, if you know what you're talking about, and you can drive I don't know, say HC. I think you said you got HR. If you drive that well, you could kind of dodgy up and say, well, I've been driving an MC for 2 years just to get yourself in the door. I know there was an Indian friend of mine who had his MC for 4 years, couldn't get a job, and so I took him 2 up. So I think every sewer needs. I was asking, have we ever trained a driver? Well, yeah, I've done that quite a few times, and took him on board, and in 2 up situation, and now he's pulling quads up north. So it does help.
Yeah, we also train drivers in our company as well. So there is companies out there who do it. We are only a little company, but some of the bigger ones will give you training if you've been with them for a certain time too. So if you want to upgrade your license.
And that's what I was saying the other day to someone else. They asked the question, I've got my HR, how am I going to get a job and stuff like that. So if you're not in transport yet, but you got your license, or you're going to think about getting your license, I guess look for a company that have road trains. Of course, you got your Lynn Foxes and Tolls and Main Freights and all those kind of stuff. Those are probably a good start, because you can drive a rigid around, get experience, and also maybe get a job doing long line haul later on. Of course, there's other companies like smaller companies like, let's just say Perth, like SDJ Logistics, which do have HR, so you can do local work and then go home every day. And then once you got your MC and stuff like that, they'll send you out there, and so. But don't forget, everyone's screaming out for drivers. So
it's the best time to be a truck driver now.
Yeah, if you don't have experience, you just say, look, I don't have experience, but hey, if you're screaming out for drivers, I'm here.
Yeah, if you're prepared to start from the bottom and work your way up, it's a golden opportunity right now to become a truck driver. Especially if you've got a clean record, which probably a must, which helps to get you through the door, and have some other skill sets. Go out and get your forklift license. That's probably the biggest one you can get besides your truck license, because number of times I've walked in for a truck driver and I go, oh, that's cool, you got a semi-license, you got a forklift? No, I don't. And you won't hire me because I haven't got a forklift, where they want forklift
and
license.
Some people have actually started, in the company just washing the trucks, and that's all they do. They just wash the trucks, and then of course you're in the company now, and then say, oh, by the way, I've got my HR. Can I get a job? So you're already in the company. You got no experience, but hey, you got HR. Come on, give me a go. So at least they've seen your work.
Yeah. So and any excavator, front end loader. Our boss always looks for farm workers, mainly so we can start augers or move farm equipment around with free loading. That's all good experience. So sometimes you have to take an indirect route to get where you want to go to sometimes. But you're 25, mate. You've got plenty of time to get as old as grumpy as us. So it's
true. But just be careful. I see you want to do long haul, which is great. If you like the single life, that's great. Oh man, if I was single, no, not married with kids and stuff like that, being on the open road is the best. But I am married and I do have young kids. Oh, it's just like Tez. We're in the same situation. That can be hard, but my kids, well, I guess my kids were born into me being on the road. They've always known, but now they're getting older. They're 9 and 11. They are asking that I'm home a little more. And luckily, Lumbars gets me home usually every 2 to 3 weeks. And they get me home on the weekend, which is really unusual because normally you get home during the week and then get back, you get back, on the Tuesday, and then you might have Wednesday and or Thursday off, and then leave by Friday. So you're never home on the weekend. So this company is really good.
What's the longest time you've been away? For me, it's been 3 months. I've been away from home. So
3 months. Wow, that's cool. Well, I think 6
no, it wasn't. I got to a point where I was coming home regardless.
It was actually 6 weeks, and I would have gone longer. I was actually in Queensland and doing a float work, and it was on QGC, moving all the equipment up the pipeline. That was great, just staying in the camps. So they basically just hired our truck and me. I got paid a daily rate to do stuff all. Yeah, so I would have been there longer, but then they said, "Oh no, we don't need you anymore." So that was 6 weeks, and yeah. Now my wife's very independent. She's okay if I'm away for weeks at a time, so that works well. But if you've got a girlfriend who doesn't like you being away, that's not going to work.
That's where it can be hard. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the same as you, Johnno. My partner doesn't mind. Oh, she does mind, but she understands I've got to go away for long periods. Lately, it's only been 10-day stints if I do go away for a long period. Otherwise, it's from Monday to Friday. And my kids are 9 and 7 now. So, they are asking for Dad to be home for a little bit. But they were saying they were born into the industry when I was driving and not being home. So, it can be pretty hard on your family. There's no doubts about that. And every truck driver will do it. And I know truck drivers, you probably would know, Johnno. The whole families, some of them raise their kids on trucks. It's something you don't see much anymore, but people do make lives around it. I don't know how they do it, but
So the next question is about how do European trucks go in the bush? Well, you don't get many of them. It's mainly Kenworth or Western Star. It's not even as many Max. It's basically out on the in the outback. It's basically Kenworth.
909s and stuff like that. Yeah.
So there are some European trucks on the pulling quads and stuff like that, but not as many.
Well, the European ones are mainly the bitumen ones, though, wouldn't you find?
Yeah.
They don't go off the road as much as.
So like cattle trucks and stuff that go onto farms and dirt roads and stuff like that. See, Western Stars and Kenworths and stuff, they have less computers on them. There's not so many, although they got lots of sensors. But like a Volvo, there's a sensor on a sensor and a sensor, and this is everything sensors and so.
Also, you find that Kenworth, they usually got double chassis and everything else. So built a lot stronger work. The 909s and they're built for cattle trucks and getting bogged and pulled out and getting bogged again and pulled out, where I wouldn't even dare to do it with the new Volvos or anything like that. They rip them in half. You have 2 trucks at the time you get them out.
So, people, questions about anything else? We got a lot of people telling me to stick to single axles, but the money. Actually, that's true. Some people just work around town. It's a bit like even on forklifts, and they can earn like $1,500 after tax a week. They might do a few extra hours, but So I thought about that. If I want to be home more, I thought, oh, maybe I could just drive a rigid around town and. Yeah, so working for main freight or something like that, just picking up the pallets and bringing them back to the yard and delivering the pallets. And yeah, what do you think? Not for you?
No, yeah, I like the open road myself because especially when the phone coverage goes dead, no one bothers me. I don't know, I'm a bit of a loner sometimes, so I just enjoy the bit of the open road and by myself. So
I got to do a story on that mobile phone repeater and the different things. If you like a good signal. So I got my mobile phone repeater, and especially a couple of years ago when you had that AFL Go app or something, so I could watch AFL on as I drive. I always like to watch a bit of AFL, and the frustrating things were if you watch football of any kind, let's just say you're on the fringe of signal, and things is like neck and neck, and there's 1 point in it, and then you lose the signal, and the screen just freezes, and it's that's frustrating. You're like, come on, get it anyway.
back it up.
Oh, it's just get to the next hill faster or something.
Yeah. What's the maximum hours a trucker in Aussie can do? That's vary on your logbook in which one you're doing. I run under standard, the basic. No, what is it? Basic, standard, and
AFM.
I can't remember the thing. Yeah.
So you got standard, BFM, AFM. So I don't know where you are, but maybe in the States and Europe, maybe they just have everyone has to do the same hours, which is 10 or 12 hours over there. Here, the minimum we can drive is 12 hours drive time. Maximum. Then you got 14 hours drive time. Yeah. Then you got 15 and a half hours drive time every day. Standard, so the standard would be 12 hours on, 12 hours off, just depending on how you take it. But that's bad because if you were to start at, say, 7 and you do 12 hours, depending on how many breaks you've had, don't you? Then you may not be able to start till 8 the next day.
No. No. If I start at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'll probably knock off about. Well, you got your 12 hours plus your an hour and a half. An hour break, I think it is. So it's probably 8 o'clock that night, but I can't start again 7 o'clock that morning if I used up my 12 hours. So
yeah.
Bloody
same with BFM. So I'm with BFM, which has a little bit more flexibility. But if I start at 7 and do 14 hours during the day, then I can't start till 7 a.m. the next day. But if I start at 7 but only do 13 hours, then the next day I can start at 6.
Yeah,
because that 24 and it's we could do logbooks and explain logbooks how they work another time.
That 12 mine 12 hours is in a 24-hour period, so you can drive 10 hours, have your 7-hour break, and do another 2 hours to make up your 12. But you got to be aware of that 12. How do you explain it? That 2 hours you lost the day before, you lose again that day. So it's confusing. I keep my logbook pretty basic. It's not worth the hassle getting fined trying to do that.
And the stupid thing is, it's just a bit of paper. So Tez can do 12 hours. I can do 14 hours. And why? How? Did I pay money and stuff like that? Well, I did a little online course, and now I can drive. Now I'm safe to do 14 hours, where Tez is not safe. He's a danger to the road and get a big fine. In fact, he'll go to court if he works 2 hours extra.
That's right. Yeah, it doesn't take much for that time to go. Before you get class as a danger, you only have to do a 15-minute and your class as a danger. But in my line of work, which is different to yours, Johnno, you do long haul, I do bits of all sorts. I can do a 14-hour day, but I've only driven for 8. So over that 14 hours, I've only driven 8 hours. But it's, so I'm usually the logbook kind of lies, but it doesn't lie. And I got pulled over there one day a couple of months ago because the work I was doing is a bit like that. I was only doing 8 hours over so many hours. The Department of Transport threw the book at me and said, you don't do enough hours, piss off, for him to warrant to go through the logbook. So, so I don't really have to keep an eye on my hours, but it does. Yeah, I've still got to be careful.
There's a couple of questions here. We got Stephen is about two up. Hi, Kylie. Sorry, I need glasses. Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. We'll get back to Nathan and Leslie. What was I going to say? So you can. How will I say this? While I drive, my logbook's always in order, but it's not exactly how I drive. So, yeah, we'll get back to that. But so Stephen asked, is 2 up better? There's benefits. I mean, when I was training this guy, who we were together for 4 months, unfortunately, because anyway, it just ended up being that way. The benefits are that, let's just say you're driving along and think, I'm tired, I'll pull over. Then now he drives. You're not stuck where you are. Now the truck's still driving. So if you're in a hurry to get to Perth or wherever you're going, you're still moving. I kind of got used to the truck rolling. You ever been in like a rocking chair or something? It's kind of relaxing, just that rocking. If you as you're driving along, if you think about it like that, like it's just rocking you to sleep, I was able to sleep. Not all the time, but yeah. So
I don't like 2 up. Even my missus agrees that when we go on holiday, we should take separate vehicles. I am not a good passenger. And I do like my own space. So I don't do 2 up, and I refuse to have anyone else in the cab. That's why there's a fridge sitting on my passenger seat. But a lot of American businesses love it because they're doing express haul. The truck, like you said, John, the trucks are not stopping. One's driving, one's sleeping. And that's how you keep the truck running 24 hours. But with that, you need 2 blokes who can get along with each other 24 hours a day, every day. And I'm not that type of person. I can talk to anyone anytime, but not put in the same box, not for a long period of time.
Yeah. And lots of people are afraid in case, that person you're driving with, doesn't run off the road because he falls asleep. And I guess you just got to know each other, and also let the other person know that, hey, look, if you've only been driving for, say, 2 hours or even 1 hour, if you're starting to feel really doughy and sleepy, just pull over. It's okay. Don't try to be a hero and just keep driving and then run us or kill us all. Just pull over. And that's what I said to Stephen, my 2 up guy. Sometimes I would drive for like 2.5 hours, and I'll be like, this is because I don't drive at night time as well. And now I'll pull over. I'm too tired. And then he'd have a go, and we just take turns. And so. Right, the next question about WA and NHVR. WA not being a part of NHVR, do you use a logbook there? I throw my logbook in the back, so as soon as I cross into WA from South Australia, I throw that away. Now, of course, you speak to a lot of other drivers, and they say, "Oh no, you got it." No, I've already taken this to court, and we'll have a session about laws and stuff like that. I take everything to court. I've never lost a case yet, so 6 in the last 18 months. I take it all to court, and I don't lose. I haven't lost anyway yet. So I basically, once across into WA, I just throw the logbook away, and then I don't pick it back up until I go back into South Australia. So
Well, I don't check for logbooks over there.
no,
do I?
no. So if you get pulled over by the heavies, it's the last thing you like. If you gave them the logbook, they go like, "What? Don't give me that." So
Yeah.
I just have to give it back to you. In WA, they're more about, is your truck roadworthy? That's the main thing, and that's the right thing. Is your truck roadworthy? Oh, they do ask you. Oh, have you had your correct brakes? Yeah, and that's it. That's all they ask.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I know when I went to the west side, I threw mine on the back seat as soon as I got to Western Australia. And if you come back in South Australia and got pulled over, they say, oh, why is there a big gap? Well, someone else was driving. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. They can't prove you anything different. So, and it's yeah. Okay, Peter.
Yeah, so Merv, yeah, being stuck with someone, especially if you don't have the same tour-up partner, imagine that every time, somebody, you might get a smoker, or I've heard some terror stories about people kicked the other driver out and fights and stuff like that because some people just aren't easygoing to, so that'd be bad.
Yeah.
So every sewer says, I had my husband drive back from Adelaide with me. He's training for HR. We're still restricted to the 12 hours. He couldn't drive unsupervised. Actually, I wondered about that. If your tour-up partner has his MC learners, do you have to be awake, or hey, you're in the truck?
I know. I did ask that question one time when I was living in South Australia, because I always wondered that myself. And I think you got to be ready to drive in the instant. I think pretty much. I think I forgot the wording they used, but we have to find out about that one again and answer that.
Yeah,
because every
sorry.
state's different too. Yeah, South Australia is different to Western Australia, to Queensland, to New South Wales. Even though we got national road laws, politicians threw that out of the window in 5 minutes. So, yeah. I don't know about you, Johnno, but I've tried to find information out about different things, and you've got to be a lawyer to look up the Act and regulations.
I mean, I love looking at the legislations, but the average truck driver, this was my argument with them. This idea that road trains are supposed to do 90 over east, I do 100 everywhere. I've taken that to court as well, and I beat that. We used to have gazettes the road train gazette. So you go through the gazette. There's only 4 pages, and it explained the road rules for driving a road train. And can you believe, in there, it's only 4 pages. There's not anything that says about your road trains are supposed to do 90. So it's truck drivers. Well, we're not lawyers. We don't like to look at paperwork and stuff like that. Things need to be really simple. So the only reason that everyone does 90 is because everyone else has told people, oh, no, you're a road train, you've got to do 90. Have you actually looked it up? In we're talking about South Australia one, because that was where I took the speeding in the road train. It's not under the road rules. It's under an annex, which you've got to look at. So basically, on the websites, and it says refer to here, and then when you go to the annex, it's got a very small section about road trains doing 90. But then you've got also a section that says in these few towns, road trains have to do 40, whereas other trucks can do 60. Oh, it's ridiculous. So that's called arbitrary, and that's arbitrary laws. So for a law to be meaningful, it must be consistent. You can't just say, it's like a discrimination. Oh, you're fat. Oh, you can't do this, or you're in a wheelchair. There's certain circumstances, of course, in a wheelchair, can't do certain things. But if you're in a road train, if your truck can do 100 over here, why can't it do 100 over there? It doesn't work that way anyway. So maybe we'll get into that another time. We've been on for 35 minutes. Wow. Okay. Any other questions?
Do you double clutch or float your gears, Johnno? I float my gears 95% of the time, I'd say.
I can't. When I got my license, you had to double clutch.
Yes.
If I got a job and they said, "Oh, we want to see you use the clutch," I probably couldn't. I would grind it, and in fact, yeah, I grind it. I use the clutch just to take off, and that's it. I don't touch the clutch again until I stop.
Yeah, I'm in paddock work. I occasionally made a clutch there because the load is a lot heavier and you've got dirt holding you back. Just gives you a bit of time for the gearbox to sort itself out. But if I'm on the open road, no, I float my gears. It's only time when I think I'm about to screw it up when I'm floating it, I reach for the clutch. That's probably about the only time.
And when you're around peak hour traffic, people, sometimes say, "Oh, gee, it must be hard. You're in peak hour traffic. Stop, start, especially bumper to bumper." I don't mind. Still, you just drive, and I'm not. When you're driving a truck, you don't have to be right behind the bumper of the next car. If they're taking off, you notice when it's really bumper to bumper, they'll all take off and they might get up to 60 and then come to a stop again, or get up to 60, come to a stop. So just leave a good buffer, and I don't have to come to a stop. I'll just let them all take off, and I'll maybe do 40, and then they'll come to a stop, and then I'll slow to 20, and then I'll speed up again. You don't.
That's a bit of a lost art in the trucking game now. I reckon everyone jumps out of their car, jumps in the truck, and treats it the same, especially the younger blokes. But I'm the same as you, John. I try to not to pull the truck up and slow down, and hopefully they get moving before I get there and take off again. And I won't be the fastest truck out there, but just trying to keep the wheels rolling a lot easier.
I'm unfortunately a bit of a speeder, so. But when it comes into traffic, well, you can't speed. What are you going to do? You're not going to go anywhere, so why speed? But
you're not going to beat anyone, are you? Only the next truck. No.
But and these people who if I see a red light up ahead, I'll coast. I'm just slowing down. Yeah. Especially in the car as well. If I see a red light, I just just let it roll. And people are flying past me, get to the red light fast, and then I just slowly come to a stop and then look at them. No, I don't hassle them out to that much. But and then they all take off like 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, and I just take off slowly, and then down the road I just drive past them because I'm a bit of a speeder. So
if you go through a place like Derby, once you learn the lights, I can go through that place without stopping. If you know the local towns, if I know I can hit the first on green, I'll be hitting all of them green. Yeah, especially going from east to west. So,
now what's this about was it if you have a strap loose? Actually, we're talking about that in WA. They're talking about if you've got a strap loose or flopping. I know in HBR back in South Australia, it's up to their discretion, and so most of the guys would basically say, "Oh, look, if you find 1 or 2, that's fine. If you find 3 or more, then they may fine us." But luckily, the supervisor of Sejourner, as I know him well, he's all about education. So he's never going to fine people the first time he sees something wrong, unless it's a serious matter. He'll educate them. So if it's a logbook fine, he'll say, "Okay, this is what you've done wrong, and this is how not to do it again." If they come back and they do the same problem, then he'll give them a fine. But I'm still not in the fines. But so that I think is good.
Well, you try to keep your straps neat and tidy anyway. But I'm always under the impression that if you got them too long, they can do you for it. So, and even loose straps because that's classed as a loose load. So.
That's right. That's what we should do. See, we get this. Have you had employees trying to push you to go over the hours? You hear that a lot. People saying, "Oh, you're always pushed." Some companies may, and then you got even our company and the company I was with before. They're like, just make sure you make a mile. This you've got to get there, because let's just say it's you picked it up late or for whatever reason because they couldn't get you there on time, or that does happen. But I guess, what do you do? I'm a bit of a people pleaser, so I know I can get it there. I love working to a schedule, even if it's a schedule like far out. I mean, I left what do you call it, the yard in Deniliquin Monday morning, and I was in Perth. Was it Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock?
Right.
And it was like, oh wow, I made it. And so I was ahead of my time, and I didn't do that many extra hours, 1,300 kilometers for the day. So it's okay.
I got a pretty good boss. So, if you're feeling tired, his instructions is to pull over. Don't do any more hours than you can't do. So he doesn't look at you if you do go over the book. He doesn't want to know about it, but he won't push you to go over the book. You just say, mate, I've only got 3 hours left. And he will go, yep, no worries. Well, you pull up when you need to pull up. We'll just work around it from there. If you miss your allotted time, you miss your allotted time. No use killing yourself over it. So, we pretty good. If you do need to pull up, you just have to text him and say, mate, can't make it, too tired.
And stopping just for 15 minutes. I know some people say, "Oh, I stop for a couple of hours, during the day, and it really helps." I don't know if this is real or whatever, but I find that 15 minutes is perfect. If you have too much sleep during the day, then your body really starts to slow down, and you get groggy after that. So 15 minutes, and I'm like, whoa, just wide awake, perfect.
Yeah.
And then down the track, if you feel groggy again, pull over for another 15 minutes. I usually set the timer for between 15 and 17 minutes, and I'm perfect after that.
Yeah. I've done it. I've done it myself. I woke up and drove for 2 hours and went, no, I can't do this. I've just got to pull over, and 15 minutes, half an hour, and I'm back awake again, and I'm good for the rest of the day. Sometimes you just need that extra little bit just to snap you back into gear. So it is fatigue is a big thing in transport, and it's something you got to monitor yourself. There's no regulations that is right for you, so sometimes you've got to do it yourself.
This question here, 102. Look, every truck could be different. Let's just say if that truck was, it could be speed limit of exactly for 100, but when you put new tires on, the diameter is just a little bit bigger, and so it's off the speed pickup is from the diff. So there's basically a pickup on the diff, and so if you got bigger tires, of course the diff is going to be spinning at the same amount of revolutions in order to give you the 100 kilometers an hour. But because the tires are new and they're a little bit bigger, that's why he may be doing 102.
Yeah, there's I think my truck does 100 when the new tires and 98 when the tires are nearly buggered.
Well, that much. Huh?
Yeah, I run it on GPS.
Yeah, and then that's the other thing. Check with your GPS, because sometimes your speedo may be out. All these people, who say, "Oh, you're speeding." Most cars are up to 8 kilometers an hour out. So Subaru, Hyundai, if you got to really do 108 to be doing exactly 100, and you know this by checking. Download an app on your phone, GPS speedo, and that'll show you your real speed. And unless whenever I hire a car, I always get in the car, check the real speed just to see if I'm, how accurate it is, whether I need to follow that or not.
Yeah, well, my Colorado's 3Ks out. on the speedo. So a lot of people you find there, I think your vehicles will be a little bit slower than what the speedo actually says. Hi, Brenda, how you going there?
Here's Brenda. She's always
we
sending me
finally got
stuff.
together. You can spot the difference. She actually asked me one time if I drive a red truck. She wondered what trucks I've driven. She got mixed up between you and me. So,
well, red goes fast. She should know. She's always sending me messages. We're always about COVID and all the scams and stuff like that. So, what's happening in the world? So, hello, Brenda. Anyway, let's see what have we got next. Must feel weird about going to Perth after so much for nothing. What? Must feel weird getting to Perth after much of nothing. Oh, you're talking about the scenery? If you are, I don't know. You do it so many times. It's like I don't know. It's just another day.
I didn't mind going across the Perth. It was it's very different from what I'm used to. But I only done it a couple of times. I haven't done it as many times as you, Johnno. But it was just rather nice. I would have pulled up and went camping if I didn't have the truck. Could have taken me months to get across there if I didn't have to be there and back.
Yeah.
Hi to Crave Minds. Crave Minds Music. I haven't seen you for a while, mate. I hope you're doing well.
Is the caravan situation getting better or worse? Man, there was so many caravans. I don't know what is going on. Is it this week or there? I mean, I think the caravans were probably at least 5 to 8 to 1 truck. I mean, they were just one after the other. I mean, one time I was coming into Southern Cross, and I must have passed 10, and they were about maybe 50 meters apart from each other. Just imagine being a road train if they were only doing 80, trying to hop, 8 caravans. Oh man. Anyway.
Yeah, I've always noticed with the caravans, they come out in the rain. I don't know why. It rains up here, and it's like cockroaches coming out of the ground. It seems to get really busy when it's raining up here with caravans for some reason.
But when it comes to caravans, a lot of them are reasonably good about getting you around. They'll either, but you just got to take it into account. Some of them will indicate left, and then some of them will indicate right to get you around. I kind of prefer the indicate to the right, even though I've learned recently that it's actually illegal to use the indicator to get people around. But
yes,
I think it's a good idea. And then you got the people who turn left. They'll indicate left and then slow down. So you basically got to just quickly come around and before they slow you down. Yeah, but preferably if they could all have a radio. I know it's a little more. Yeah.
You only have to give us a call. You don't have to just say truck behind whatever caravan you're driving, and 95% of us or 99% of us reasonably we will talk to you. Once you've got communications with us, it's quite easy then. It's worst thing you can do as a caravaner is forcing us around. When you suddenly brake and hit the side of the road trying to get us around, that's the worst thing you can do, because quite often I've judged what speed you're doing, whereabouts I'm on the road, my load, I know what I'm carrying and how heavy I am, and I know quite often what's further up, so if it's safe for me to go around you or not. It can get quite dangerous, and it's happened to me several times.
Actually, a bit of advice. I got to do another video on this too. If you're a caravan and you're watching this, when we come up behind you, and if you were doing, say, 90, 95, keep that speed. And when we come around, then you brake, and that'll basically rocket us around. Some of them think, I'll slow down to 80 or 70, and then you can come around. It takes a lot longer for us to accelerate past you than if you kept the fastest speed you could do and then brake as we pass you.
Yeah, that's right. And we do that when we're overtaking each other. We wait till the vehicle wants to overchase, because we're in communication a fair bit. It's very rare we're not. And the back one is going to overtake. He usually says, I'm going to have a crack, and the lead goes, right, I'll give you a hand, and we just slowly back off, and as soon as he goes past, we'll tell him to swing in or flash the lights. So,
yeah. Now, what about this one? Will you miss diesel when EV trucks era? Oh, is that ever going to happen? Is it? Yeah.
You reckon that's going to come in for especially where we go, Johnno?
Oh, I don't know.
You want some good batteries.
Yeah, I mean,
Energizer Bunny's going to be hopping pretty well.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not let's just say I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I don't think we could do that. You'd have to have a whole trailer. You carry 3 trailers. Your first trailer is like your coal trailer or batteries trailer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty pointless after that, isn't it? It's some of the roads, dusty roads. Well, I know what I go on. It will kill a truck like that. Dust and electronics don't work too well.
Oh, there's Lewis. Hello, Lewis. He's texts a lot. He's always got lots of comments.
Yeah, he's been a loyal supporter on both of our channels I've seen in the past. I always appreciate it if you do leave a comment on the channel, on a video. It helps us out a great deal if you do comment, even if you just leave a smiley face or something. Tricks YouTube in thinking you're engaging with us, and more engagement we get helps our channel out. So. All right.
Yeah. We said that about the UHF. So yes, use the UHF. A lot of them, they indicate you around, and then you come around them, and you can see, oh, hang on, this guy's got a radio. Well, you can see his antenna. You could use it.
Yeah.
So if Frank says, what's it? Frank say, yes, they're going to put EV truck stations. Oh, okay, maybe for riches and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the only places you could really use the EV trucks is between Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne, and maybe Adelaide.
Oh yeah, man, the amount of trucks. A lot of trucks go up and down there.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to lose the old diesel trucks because unless something really happens drastic with the electronics. I've never seen that in the paddock, so not the type of work I do anyway.
Now, while we've got everybody here, tell us about the shows that you like to see. Now, I notice on Tez's channel, whenever he does doom and gloom, all the accident videos, you got heaps of comments, and everyone wants shares, and it was so wonderful and stuff. And then Terry will put up a video, that is, spend a bit of time editing and different camera angles, and we get stuff for views. We enjoy what we do, so we don't do it just for the views and stuff like that, but it does help. So what kind of videos are you after? Like, what would you like to see us make? So put that in the comments, and as we keep talking. Yeah,
well, you got anything lined up and you want to do? You said you had something lined up earlier. You didn't get around to today. What was that one? That was.
What did I put up today? This
you
right.
Put up the fire engine one, and
hang on, I'm trying to find this comment to unshow it. I can't find. There it is. There, I see. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, you got
it. We are learning this situation. We're truck drivers, not videographers and all this kind of stuff. So, we're getting to know
definitely out of that element here.
And this is our first show, so things will get smoother, and we'll learn to bounce off each other, and
Yeah, that's right. But, that's right. We've never done this, especially together. I've done couple with my partner, but yeah, this is always a new experience. I had to sit down and learn how to operate this thing again. So yeah. I know I got a couple of videos coming up. I've got one actually how to change your Road Ranger gearbox, what I do, footwork and timing and stuff. It hasn't come out how I liked it. It's really pissed me off, but I've got something. And also got maintenance around the truck and a couple of jobs I was doing one day when I had a day off. So I've got a couple of little ones coming out, and I might flick them out over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, but they're definitely the ones I like doing. Yeah,
I did one last night. I'm not sure. You know, people are saying, you like the informative and fun videos. Well, I'm more about the fun. I'm trying to do more informative videos. I did one how to fold up a tarp, a 45-foot tarp on your own, because normally, of course, you got one person one end, one person the other end. You fold it over. How do you do it on your own? Well, I don't know if it's gonna be. I'm just gonna put it out there anyway. I haven't even looked at it, so if the footage or the explanation is not so good, maybe I'll not. Anyway, you'll see if you see it. What cameras? Oh, I like this. What cameras do you use when you're driving? Oh, I see. I have a GoPro mounted on my driver mirror. Yeah, well, Ted has got a GoPro. You've seen his GoPro video review, and he did a really good job of that. He spent 10 minutes explaining it all, and not many people watched it.
No, that's it's usual thing for me. The less time I spend with it, more views I get. Yeah, don't know, but yeah. Well, like I said, I run with GoPro 10, the 11's out now, and I like to have a go at one of them. And the dash cam on the camera, so on the window. So that's the two, and my phone.
Yeah. Why are you doing
Johnno's got some really cool stuff.
I'm trying to just see if I can get this together. Actually, I should turn this down. It's night time here in WA. Oh, I guess it is over there too. I forgot. Right. So this is my camera that I use for the bigger stuff. So hang on, let's get that in there. So this here is amazing. It stops any kind of wind noise. So this is a shotgun mic. The camera is a Nikon Z6 Mark II. It looks like anything else, I guess, if you turn it on. The microphones I use, I'm using, you will see the receiver here. So as you can see, when I talk and when I don't. So there's the receiver, the transmitter. I've got a lapel mic here. That's just for me though. The gimbal, I haven't even got that set up. I wasn't prepared for this, so I'll show you next time.
Through him in the last second, yeah.
But yeah, I do like my gadgets and my equipment. I did want to make when I do videos, I want them to, first of all, the audio has got to be perfect. Otherwise, because lots of people just switch off, bad audio. People start with a picture, but audio, no. Picture. Where's my phone? Here. This phone here was what I made. That's how I started doing all my videos on this phone. Just a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and so all of my first videos were just made with the phone. And I run Linux. I don't like Windows. So everything's run on Linux, and do all my video editing myself. That's the hardest part, isn't it, Tess?
Yes. I'm the same. I kind of started out the opposite direction you did. I started doing YouTube as cheaply as I can and get it to pay for itself and build my equipment up, where you went out and got some gadgets and some cool toys. And so it's interesting to see our journeys over our videos, but I've always been impressed with Johnno's videos from the start. They've been professionally made, where you see mine is just some hack walking around the back of the truck and dropping the phone and everything else. So, but if you're going to start a YouTube channel, get a decent mic, have decent audio, because if you don't have decent audio, people don't want to listen to you and turn straight off. So you can have really bad footage, but if you've got decent audio, you're doing well. So it's probably...
sometimes the hard thing I have trouble with is what to do. I'm really fussy, so you might be driving along and you might see something. Oh, I should do that. No one I want to see that, so I keep driving. Or you get to the point you see something. Oh, I should stop and get to do that. And I'm thinking to myself, I should stop as I'm driving, and then I've gone too far, and it's too far to go back now. Oh man, the amount of times I've thought I got to stop, and I don't. So,
yeah, well, I got caught there the other day. I was thinking, next run I'll put the GoPro up on the windscreen, on the mirror. Well, it's always the next thing the job was finished, and I never got the good footage going through the hills. So you kind of can be a bit frustrating.
So is it Murphy? I need glasses. I should see you got glasses on. My glasses aren't even here; they're in the truck. What's my channel? It's Road Train Adventures. So whether it be on YouTube or Facebook, Road Train Adventures, 3 words. So just look at Road Train Adventures. You'll see me. I'm everywhere. Eddie everywhere. No. Now what was this other one? Maybe you should do a few videos where you rate roadhouses. Well, if you go to Road Train Adventures, I've got lots of roadhouse reviews from different places. They are my older videos because that's how I started this channel. Is I also run Road Trains Australia. So not the page. Dane and I have kind of split up. So Dane still runs the page. I run the group. And I started getting into these roadhouse reviews because I thought, anyway, I just wanted to do videos. I didn't know what to do them of. And so I just did the roadhouse reviews, had no idea. And that's how I got into videos. And so there are some out there. Check out the Road Train Adventures and then scroll down to the bottom and you'll see different videos for roadhouse reviews. Yeah. And I did manage to get us like Ceduna Roadhouse. BP Ceduna was pretty bad. And I went there and did a bad review on them. And then senators got involved in the health department and they spent $60,000 doing them up. And now they're amazing showers. So I affected some change. Hey?
Yeah, well, I wish you'd go around and do a few more, Johnno. Do some up here for me. Yeah. Okay. Question one of them was, when the flash light, when the truck's over, you can lean back in. We lost you, Johnno.
Now, I don't know about you, but for some reason you're buffering. Is it I don't know if it's your end or my end.
It's one of their ends.
It shows, your connection's a bit bad. But anyway, the show goes on. Yeah. Whether it be a good or a bad connection, you'll come good. Anyway, you'll come good. So, what's the link? I've just put the link for my channel down in the comments somewhere there. I don't see them there, but I think they should come up sometime soon. You and Johnno are doing well for your first show. How about doing a joke show? Oh, Tez, you might see he puts out jokes every now and then. A joke of the week, I think he does. So,
yeah, every week, but never get bored.
I'm not very good at telling jokes. So I think I should leave that to Tez.
I've got to get the jokes where I've got to play them up. No problem. It was kicked off. I know too many wrong jokes.
But Blair says, have you heard of anybody getting a logbook fine for a spelling mistake? I think in the old days people have, but nowadays no way. Yeah, as long as
I kind of
they can work out
long.
roughly where you are or what you were talking about, then that should be fine.
Yeah, if you're only one letter out, I think you'd be right. I don't know about you, Johnno, but it's all your attitude when you get pulled over, I believe. I've gotten away with murder in the past. Not literally, but yeah.
I know
Um,
people have been given like $720 fines because there's various tick boxes that you got to tick, like
yeah,
whether you're BFM standard or whatever, or forget to put the date in, or the day of the week. How's this? This is ridiculous. So you've got the
minor.
date, and then you got the day of the week. Well, if you got the date right, but the day of the week wrong, you circle the day of the week. Why should you get a fine if the date's right? Then
Yeah.
it's just a how's it making the road a safer place because
Well,
you forgot to tick something.
I got done for not signing my logbook a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
When you pull up tired, and I filled out the time and closed the book, put it away, and forgot to sign it. I didn't check my book the next day.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's $174 every time you do that. It gets expensive when you get a couple. Um, yeah, I don't know. We're in the industry that yeah, do a slight mistake like that, and we get penalised pretty bad. I believe not worse than what we need to be, but um, yeah, it's it's all yeah, it's all the attitude with the person who's pulling you over on the day. I think. Um,
Yeah, and sometimes the cops can be a real problem, and whereas NHVR or RMS or other people may be a little fairer. A lot of cops, some of them can be pretty pig-headed or arrogant, and they make out like they know what they're talking about when they're wrong. But because they're a cop, you listen to me. Well, I don't really put up with any crap with the cops. You can be who you are. You're not going to get arrested if they it's hard to explain. Um, when you know the law, you can stand up for your rights. And we all have rights. Just because the cop says something doesn't mean that you better do it. I might get arrested. Yeah, another show.
yeah. Also, out on the side of the road, it's not the place to. I believe it's not the place to fight your fights. That's what the court system's there for. Um, yeah. So if you believe you're right, well, you do what Johnno does and take him to court and fight for your rights there. On side the road, that's only going to cause more hassles, I believe. So
I'm going to have to check out every sewer needs. I'm going to have to check out your channel too. I've got the road lapel and stuff. The gimbal, the other gimbals in. So I do have a gimbal for my phone. That was what I was starting with. You got to have good footage. The main gimbal for the big camera you saw, I've actually got packed up normally. It's in the truck as well. That's quite big. It's a DJI RS2. So it's anyway, when this is all set up, people are all like, "Oh, what channel are you from?" Anyway, it's a big setup. So anyway, every souvenir, I must come back to that. I'll come back to that. Here we go. I run Linux on a laptop. Yes, good. Pop OS. I run Ubuntu Studio just because it comes with Jack and OBS and everything set up. So yeah, good to see we've got another Linux person.
yeah. Which state has the worst cops?
Oh,
Highway Patrol. I don't care which state you're from. Um, they're the ones who'll pull you over for no reason and go through you. The Department of Transport. Yeah, I find I get along with them pretty well. If I've got any questions about trucking, about the laws, they're the blokes I go see first. I don't see the Highway Patrol. I don't ask any questions there. I just take it and see what happens afterwards. So
well, they are cops as well. Cops, as I said,
yeah,
be a bit pig-headed.
Yeah, but they're not the expert in the field. Where the highway department, the Department of Transport. Well, that's what they do. That's their part of the copping industry part they do. So they're the ones who know all the stuff about logbooks and road regulations and stuff like that. Quite often if I pull into a weighbridge, I get out the truck and talk to them for about 10 minutes. Different questions about different things, what I don't know. Once they've dealt with my logbook and said it's all fine, happy with my truck, I could spend another 10 minutes just chatting to them about different things. And it's the only way you find out sometimes.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're taking a guess and having it hearsay from other truck drivers, which is not always the best source of information, even though we're doing it. But yeah.
So Frank says when these logbooks first came out, some of the drivers got fined for abbreviations. Well, that's no good. I would have taken that to court too. But in the front of the logbook, it actually says you can do that. Mount Isa just like Wagga. You don't have to put Wagga. It even says in the front of the logbook, it says you were fined to just put Wagga. Yeah. Although everyone calls Deniliquin Denny, but I write the word Deniliquin. I'm not sure if they'd be okay with that. Anyway, I don't know. So
I think as long as they understand where you come from or where you've been, I think you're pretty right there. So,
and
Brenda, yep. Well, Johnno's kind of answered that a long time ago, but I've had my semi license since I was in my early 20s, could be about 21 or something like that. And my first lot of experience was my semi license was just part of my job. It wasn't the main part of my job. If it was farming or driving excavators and backhoes and stuff like that, transporting the machine around, it's only in the last 5-6 years where it's been my full-time job. So yeah. What about you, Johnno? You said
look, I've been in petrol for 30 years, but not driving big trucks. So let's see, where are we? 12 years. So it may not seem that long now, 12 years, but I did learn a lot. I did ask a lot of questions from the start. As I said, I found some people that I thought, had good experience, and I would always ask them questions whenever I saw them. And basically, every time I saw them, I'd ask them more questions and more questions. I'd practice reversing. I didn't want to just be a truck driver. I wanted to learn about everything. If my truck broke down, when they fixed it, I would go to the workshop, because we had most places have their own workshop. I'd ask what happened. So then, I knew what was going on, like the symptom. So I'd find out what happened. So if the same symptom happened next time, I would know exactly, what they fixed when this happened. It was this. And so if something went wrong with the truck, I knew, it's probably the air dryer again, and I can do this to get it fixed, just to get me back to the yard.
How much spare stuff do you carry on your truck, Johnno? I've got a tin of spare parts of hose connectors and spare hose and spare bolts, bits and pieces. Not always for myself. It's usually sometimes for someone else who's in my way. That's usually when I get out and help someone.
We've got a lot of parts. So we carry a couple of spare fan belts, air conditioning belts, radiator hoses, intercooler hoses. We also carry a spare alternator. I had to change that maybe 2 months ago. I was driving along and I thought, oh, hello, what the hell? I've got no voltage. And then, of course, the fan belt locked on, and because what happens is the alternator, 9 times out of 10, it's the alternator bearing just seizes up. No more, it just stops and then just rips up your fan belt. So I stopped on the edge of the road and pulled out the alternator, unbolted all that, unwire it, and then you bolt it on and put all the wires back on, fit the fan belt, and away you go. Now, this happened, I was about 1,300 kilometres from Perth. Just imagine how long you'd have to wait, for an alternator to come out. But within an hour, I was away again. So we literally carry spares for anything that could go, well, not anything, all the popular things that could go wrong.
Yep. Well, we got our fan belts and alternator belts and hoses for the radiator and stuff like that. But yeah, we definitely don't carry a spare alternator. I did have I reckon mine gave out there a couple of months ago. So I just took the fan belts, or what was left of the fan belts off, and which still ran my water. I still had belts for my water pump and everything else. And I just ran my ice pack to get myself home. That's how I got home one day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to think out of the box to get yourself home or get yourself to a workshop.
Gee, how bad were your eyes? I thought lots of people, they drive with glasses and stuff. So, yeah.
Mine? No, I only got glasses to read at this stage. I probably should get my eyes tested again.
I'm having a look at Brad's comment on the screen here. Changed the eye test rule and failed. So, it's no good.
Okay.
We all want to drive and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's your independence.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah.
Oh, you still got an MR. Okay. Well, originally we were going to come on and do a test for half an hour, and we've just gone on for an hour and 20 minutes.
I told you time gets away when you do this.
It does. And what we could do is then take this video and edit it down for to get rid of all the
dead spots.
The talking and stuff like that. So we might do that. Anyway, hopefully you all enjoyed it. It is a test show. See how it works out and stuff like that. I guess you got to have a lot of time. Yeah, I guess you guys listening got to have time to actually watch it. So it's probably one of those things that not many people will watch it live, which is only 22 at the moment. But if we edit it down and play back later, then and it's I wonder if we could get it down to 10 minutes or something. But anyway, we'll see. It's all up in the air.
Yeah, well, I would probably cut it down and occasionally drop a question out, just a small segment, answering people's questions here. So people get to see more of it. So no, it's been once again a learning curve. It has been fun, Johnno, I admit. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's only taken us 2 months to get this far, I suppose.
We have, he wanted to do an interview with me, and I said, okay, what are we going to talk about? And then that's where I come up with the idea. I said, hey, well, why don't we just make it like a show? And he said, oh yeah, we should do that, yeah. So
I've still got my 30 questions here, Johnno. So if we ever get run out, I've got 30 very improving questions for you, which we did answer some of.
Bouncing off each other, I think, is a lot easier.
Yes.
And thanks for those who also subscribed. I see you subscribed. Thanks for that. As Tez said, it does help us. The more people that watch, I guess it is good. We always like for people to see the videos and comment, and I guess give some appreciation to the time that we spend. But
especially thanks to you people tonight, where John is going, we don't have anything to talk about. I said, don't worry about it. I've got questions. And if not, we'll just answer the questions off the screen, and you people come through, flying colours. Thank you very much. This show's nothing without you people watching and putting in as well.
Yeah.
So very much appreciated. Yes, we definitely will do this again when we both are sitting somewhere we can do it. So,
Well, so Nathan, why is it past your bedtime? What's the time now? I got to because
it's quarter to 10 here.
Oh yeah, okay. So when I come to WA, it's not supposed to do it same time, but just to make things easier, I run local time. Oh, where's video? Terrible. How about that?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
here.
Anyway,
Yeah.
don't worry about that part. Then obviously not meant to be. Wait, PC bedtime 5 a.m. Yeah. Anyway, people get a signal. Anyway, before we go, anything else? And we will finish.
Well, lately I've been getting a lot of calls over the UTF, saying they've been watching my channel. Sorry about this last week, but my UHF is aerial's a little bit short on what it needs to be, thanks to a certain hour. So sorry I can't answer everyone who's been calling up, but it's very much appreciated when people do call up and say they appreciate my channel and my work. And I hope they do the same for you, Johnno, further down. So, yeah. Yeah, I've got nothing more tonight. I think we've passed this test pretty well. So,
yes, it was fun. Who knows when we can do it again? Most of us, if I'm on the road. Well, let's to give you an example. I was on the in the truck 308 nights last year or last financial year. So I'm most of the time in the truck. When I'm in Melbourne, I'm with my wife and kids. When I'm in Perth, I stay at Mum's house, which is where I am now. So this is the best time to do it. But of course, just because I'm free, Tez might be in the truck. So,
sure, yeah.
Now Tez and I are talking about doing a show on the road as well. So we'll show you things about the truck and how things work, in the truck itself.
Yeah, we'll do it by Skype over the phone or something like that. So, yeah, we'll work something out in the future, definitely. So, everything's good. Road Train Adventures, that's the one you want to, Brad? I actually got the logo here somewhere.
I'll put it back up here.
Yeah.
There it is there. This is Road Train Adventures.
So that's what you got to look out for. Facebook, yeah, same for Facebook and YouTube. So
anyway, there it is there. So
yeah.
Oh,
all right. It's past my bedtime. I've got to get up at some ridiculous hour again tomorrow for one day of work. So yeah, very good.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching.
Yep. And please be safe on the roads, everyone. Please take care of each other. And I'll see you all on the flip side. Bye.
All right, bye for now. Bye.